this convention could do other things too, could it not?
Well, it could do other things, and we're suggesting that it could help restore our current constitutional system as well, which hasn't been reviewed for a very long time, for generations and generations. So it's able to really review that process and to review our current constitution, because like our founding fathers said, the Constitution wasn't meant to stay the same, and it is, you're not trying to, stop the Constitution from being changed, but we're only ensuring that when change does happen, the best, the people are informed and the best decision is made.
It's one of the matters about which we more recently made a submission, and that was not that long ago, and that was when we had the opportunity of being received by the Assistant Minister for the Republic, Mr. Thistlethwaite, about the Republic, because he is there to promote a republic which was rejected in 1999, and that submission was it not, to review the breakdown in the constitutional system which occurred during COVID.
Exactly, and that exactly relates back to what I was discussing earlier, and the powers, the politicians' powers and the overriding of certain sections of the Constitution which occurred in COVID, which was an extremely scary exercise to watch for many, many Australians. So it will allow us to really review what had happened in COVID and to ensure that that never happens again.
Yes, we were very concerned, were we not, about the power to make regulations, which we thought was being abused. And there were two aspects that we were concerned with. One was that when regulations are made by the executive government, we thought that if they're important, they shouldn't be just made in the middle of the night by a minister signing a document and putting it in the Government Gazette. We thought all of the regulations should be more formal. They should go before the Executive Council, there's the Governor or the Governor-General and the advising ministers. There should be an explanatory memorandum freely available. And there was another aspect, was there not, and that was that the power of disallowance. Because most regulations being made by the executive government have the force of law. And the position, particularly in colonial times, it's been gradually whittled away, but the position has been that there's a tradition that either House of Parliament be entitled to disallow a regulation, a very important way. And they also then can more properly supervise the regulatory making power. I remember particularly, and I don't know if you recall it, Daniel, one occasion when suddenly one day the Premier of New South Wales and the Minister appeared at one of those press conferences and announced that they were closing down the building industry. This was during COVID. They were closing down the building industry. We were never given an explanation for that. The chief medical officer said she had not advised it. We never knew why. It was closed down, a whole industry, closed down, massive costs, billions of dollars, for 2 weeks, and we still don't know why it was closed down and what was achieved by the closing down of the New South Wales building industry.
Professor, this links back to my original argument that COVID was really a teaser to what a politician's republic would look like. Regulations being made on a dining room table, like you said, very, very drastic decisions rushed, made without informing Executive Council and appropriate ministers, which should have been informed at the time. The closing down of the building industry was detrimental for the period of time that it had been closed down. I think billions of dollars or millions of dollars were lost in that short amount of time it was closed. But this is why Australians and more young Australians are really starting to realise that going into a republic isn't necessarily the best form of government that Australia needs. The checks and balances that is attached to constitutional monarchy is something that we should really safeguard. And I can say that being from an ethnic background like Lebanon, where politicians and parliament isn't really for the people, but rather really for themselves. So I'm able to really treasure the current system of government that we have at the moment and make sure that, we really protect our current constitutional system.